Good evening and welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Steven Starcer.
And I'm Keith Albertson. Obviously, Colorado has been through extreme hardship with the flooding over the past week. Many people are now missing or homeless. Our sincerest condolences go out to everyone who was affected by the disaster. All too often, disasters occur and we turn to sports as a way to get our minds off the tragedy. With that being said, we plan on carrying on with business as usual here at CTV and focus on what is happening in the world of sports at CSU.
Just like our show, Saturday's football game went on as planned. Coach Mack spoke about the potential of not having a game, but ultimately it was decided that it was best for the players and the community to continue on with the game.
And that was certainly the Rams there, they actually went out and got their first win of the season against the Cal Poly Mustangs.
Yeah, big win for the Rams, getting that first win at home at Hughes Stadium in front of a home crowd. It would be nice to see Hughes Stadium be packed a little bit more in the future, but still, thanks to the support for the students and fans who did go out for that game. It's always nice to get that first win out of the way. Don't have to stress out about that now. You got the win out of the way. Now it's this team trying to string some more together. You want to get some wins at home, also try and win some games on the road as well. But I thought CSU definitely picked up their play a little bit in this game against Cal Poly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of the win comes down to quarterback and receiver combinations. Garrett Grayson looked a lot better. And I think he really connected with the receivers a lot more. He went for 297 yards. 21 of 30. He just looked great.
I was really happy to see him get, as we see number 10, Crockett Gilmore there involved. Gilmore was held catchless in those first two games for the Rams. Came out, had 7 receptions, I think, in this one for CSU. Also got Kevon Cartwright involved in the touchdown there. He made some nice plays, and it was nice to see him get a pretty solid completion percentage. Didn't turn the ball over, no fumbles, no interceptions. I always love to see that out of your team's quarterback. I still feel like there's some decision-making that he could improve on. Some plays in the pocket where he still doesn't look quite that comfortable to me yet. Still trying to find the chemistry in this offense. I think as they continue to run the ball well, that'll help him out a little bit and continue to have the safety nets and those 2 big tight ends to throw to. But I think the stats might have been a little bit misleading. I still think Grayson can pick it up another level for this team to help them improve as the season moves forward.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. He did take a step in the right direction, but one thing that his development of the passing game really contributed to is an increased rushing game. Since the defense was able to, since they had to cover the pass a lot more, we were able to connect in the rushing game with Alexander, with Nwoke, and Bibbs. Bibbs stepping up again. He had a great game.
Yeah, Capri Bibbs, the freshman, you love that this kid is not afraid of the moment, just going in there and performing well for this team. It was good to see the senior Nwoke kind of lead the charge in this one, get over 100 yards, and then it's always nice to see a player bouncing back from injury. Alexander had the hand injury, came into this game, got 12 touches on the ground, also scored a touchdown for the Rams in this one. So it's nice to have 3 different reliable backs, in the backfield to help Garrett Grayson out on the offensive side of things.
Definitely. And of course, we got to mention one more time our special teams. Our special teams looked great again. Shaquille Barrett coming up with the 2 big blocks on the field goal attempts. And those were big, especially the one coming in the 4th quarter. Cal Poly is driving down the field, and Barrett just gets in, blocks it, and big momentum shift back to the Rams.
Yeah, you touched on a huge momentum shift for the Rams. Cal Poly was about to bring it to within a 1-possession game after the Rams had a pretty solid lead there, and he got the blocks. Rams were able to kind of extend the lead from there and close the game out. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't come up with that play. So huge play by the linebacker, getting it on the special teams. Jared Roberts also remaining perfect as well.
Yes, indeed. And our returning has been great as well, but I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with Tyrese Simmons. I feel like he has been really risky in his choices of when to catch the ball. There are some plays like this one where it takes a couple bounces, and that's fine. Let the defense touch it. We'll lose a couple yards, but he just sticks his hand up there, and he's got magnet hands. I don't know if Coach Mack talked to him at all and said, you grab everything you can, but he sure makes me nervous, and I don't know if that's going to fly against a team like Alabama.
As a CSU fan, Simmons definitely makes you a little bit uneasy when you're watching him. You know, it's one of those things where you'd like to see him wait for the fair catch, run up and catch the ball, or if he's going to let it bounce, just get out of the way and, you know, tell your blockers and that to get out of the way too. You don't want to touch the ball and have any turnovers or anything happen. Your defense just got a big stop. They're punting the ball to you. You're getting the ball back on offense. You don't want to hand the ball right back over. And he's kind of playing with fire right now, Keith, so it's definitely something to look at in the future.
Yeah, definitely, especially against Alabama, like I touched on. They will tear him apart. They're probably going to tear every bit of our game apart, but I don't think we need to help them out with any turnovers.
No, definitely. You know, talking about the Alabama game coming up this Saturday, CSU, you got nothing to lose going into that football game. You want to go out there and just try and limit your mistakes. Don't give any freebies to Alabama. That's only going to help you to try and stay in this game as long as possible. So hopefully the freshman Simmons can play some pretty headsy football out there and we see the Rams continue to elevate their game, and we'll go and see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, and I know I'm not the only one who's kind of looking a little bit past that game to kind of the upcoming schedule. We got UTEP at home. We're riding that 4-game home win streak, and after that we got San Jose State, and then we travel up to Wyoming. So other than Alabama, we've got a pretty manageable schedule, and you know, if we really pick up our game, I think we got a chance to go bowling still.
There's no question about it, Keith. It's still early in the year. We got that first win out of the way. You know, you talked about the Bama game. It's going to be a tough one. Probably going to mark that one in the loss column. But those, as we saw in the schedule, those next 4 games, 2 at home and then 2 on the road, all winnable games. CSU, you'd hope they'd be able to keep defending home field advantage out at Hughes Stadium. But it's going to be important for them to get a few road wins this year. And Wyoming and Hawaii are 2 teams that the Rams definitely have a chance, an opportunity to get wins against this season.
Absolutely. All right, well now it's time for us to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll tell you what to expect from this year's men's golf team.
And we'll let you know how our women's soccer team fared this weekend. Don't go away.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
CSU's women's volleyball team was finally rewarded today for their perfect start to the 2013 season. The Rams jumped up to number 22 in the rankings after improving to 8-0 on the season last week by beating DU and Missouri State. Adriana Colbert earned Mountain West Player of the Week honors for her outstanding performance for the Rams in the 2 victories. Colbert led CSU with 37 kills in the 2 matches, including a career-high 23 in the team's 3-1 road victory over DU. This makes it 2 straight weeks someone from CSU has won the award. Junior setter Deidre Faust was named last week's Player of the Week. The honor is Colbert's first of her career, and CSU will be back in action for a pair of matches this week. They will kick off conference play at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, hosting Wyoming, and then they will take on Texas A&M at home in the team's annual Orange Out game at 7 p.m. on Saturday.
And the women's soccer team also played last week against an undefeated Northern Arizona team. The Rams weren't able to come out on top of this one, but they did finish in a 1-1 tie after double overtime. Freshman Amy Eckert scored the lone goal for the Rams. It's the first time the Rams found the back of the net since their win on August 23rd, having been shut out in their 3 previous games. The Rams will head up to Fargo, North Dakota for a pair of games this weekend.
The Colorado State men's golf program begin a 2-day tournament today at the Fort Collins Country Club. The Rams are playing host to a 15-team field in the 2nd annual Ram Masters Invitational. CSU is in first place after day 1 at +3, and Nevada is in second place at +6. Cameron Harrell had the best individual performance on the day, finishing at 3 under par. CSU will tee off this week for a 54 holes today, and tomorrow the team will play the final 18 holes. The course is featuring a par 70 layout that stretches more than 7,100 yards. The tournament opened today and will finish tomorrow with the final 18 holes. As we mentioned, those tee times will start at 8 a.m.
And in a bit of sad news for a longtime Rockies fan like myself, Todd Helton announced his plans to retire at the end of this baseball season. The 17-year veteran leads the Rockies in virtually every offensive category. His final home game will be Wednesday, September 25th against the AL leading Boston Red Sox, and he will be commemorated with Todd Helton bobblehead night. And Steven, he may not be putting up very great offensive numbers this season, but I'm sure going to miss him.
Without a doubt. He's Hall of Famer in my book, and it was unfortunate that he never got a World Series championship while here in Colorado, but he will definitely be missed. One of my favorite players of all time.
Maybe he'll get one by the end of this season, a little late October run.
Yeah, little October magic.
Here's to hoping. Well, coming up after the break, Steven and I are going to test our knowledge head-to-head in our newest segment.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back. Now it's time for a new segment that we're going to call Know Your Sport.
That's right. Steven here, he knows a lot more about volleyball than I do, but I'd like to think I know a little more about football than he does. So we're going to put our knowledge to the test to see who actually knows more about their sport.
Each of us came up with 5 questions to ask the other about their sport last week. I'll be asking Keith about football, as he just mentioned, and he will be asking me about volleyball.
Neither of us have seen the other's questions before, and we'll get to see who knows their stuff, all right? So I'll start off first asking the question, and I'll keep it a little easy for you.
Alrighty, sounds
Through
good.
their first 8 games, the Rams have lost how many sets?
That would be 4 sets, Keith.
All right, I'll give him that point. The answer is 4 sets. Mark 1.
All right, sounds good. Question number 1 for Keith. Who leads CSU in receptions this season?
Receptions. I'm going to have to go with Grayson on that one. Since you didn't clarify whether it was, passing or not, I'm going to go with Grayson.
You know what? I'm going to give you the point just for being more clever than I was on that one. I was looking for Rashard Higgins with 9 receptions, but I like the way you turned that one around on me.
All right. So 1-1 now. All right, let's see. Do a little different question. Looking at the Rams volleyball roster, who is the tallest player on the team, and how tall is she?
Easy one, Keith. That will be Acacia Andrews. She is a 6'5" true freshman.
Nailed it. All right, I'm going to have to pick it up a little bit and come up with tougher questions for you.
Question number 2 for you, Keith. How many extra points and field goals combined has Jared Roberts misfired on this season?
Oh, how many has he missed? That's easy. I'm going to have to tally them up. Game 1 was 0, Game 2 was 0, Game 3 was also 0. Calculate. Yeah, 0. I'm going to guess that he has missed 0.
That's correct.
All right, I'll
Keith
take
is
it. I'll
2-0
take it.
start. Nice job.
All right, getting a little tougher here. Now, Deidre Foss is number 3 in the nation in average assists per set. How many does she average?
Let me do a little quick math in my head real quick here.
Oh, yeah, you got them all up in your head, Mr. Rain Man.
I'm going to go with 12%.
12? It's 12.36, but since you gave me the Garrett Grayson, I'll give you that one. 12.36,
All right, sounds fair to me.
number 3 in the nation, Deidre Foss.
Unbelievable, Deidre Foss. Question number 3 for Keith. Who was the lineman in Saturday's game against Cal Poly that caught a pass for CSU, almost getting a touchdown, was ruled down right at the goal line?
Oh, Sam Brilo? It was Sam Brilo. 11-yard reception, and I think he was in. If you haven't seen that, check it out on our website. Now, we're actually running out of time. It looks like the score is 3-3, but I got one more question.
All right.
For the win, if you can get it.
I
now,
like
you
it. Let's
mentioned
do it.
that the Rams were ranked in volleyball now. They're ranked 22nd. How many votes did they get by the coaches?
235.
235 is correct. Wow, congratulations. That is impressive. You beat me 4-3, but I'll be back next week and I'll have tougher questions.
Keith, that was a fun first game.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
Our next show isn't until next Monday, but you can always check us out at our website at collegian.com for the latest in CSU sports updates.
We'll see you next time.